Well, we've all heard the kids' song, head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Well, this next story may make you think twice about the order of those body parts. It all started when a local woman found out she had a rare form of bone cancer. Doctors stepped in. In a story you'll see only here on CBS 8, it's what happened next that became a medical first here in San Diego. Rose Trung enjoys her time in the kitchen, but if you'd ask her what's been cooking over the past year, you'd learn she's shouldered a lot.
It was just really depressing for a while.
Rose was in her late 30s and a newlywed when her shoulder pain got worse.
I was being told to stretch it out, do some stress relief things and kind of manage the pain.
Her doctor at the time chalked it up to the rigors of long hours working on the computer and aging. Last October, the pain got so bad, Rose couldn't even open a bottle of water. She switched healthcare providers and was referred to Scripps orthopedic surgeon Dr. Anna Kaligian.
We looked into it further and discovered that she has a very rare type of bone cancer called chondrosarcoma. At that young age, that particular cancer never happens.
Easy to spot on x-rays, the tumor, larger than a golf ball, was lodged in Rose's shoulder socket.
I was like, how could I possibly have cancer?
The process of removing the tumor typically leaves patients with no use of the shoulder. Tough news for someone who enjoys bowling, crafting, and cooking. Determined to beat the cancer, Rose wasn't looking for a shoulder to cry on, just one that's cancer-free. She put her faith in Dr. Kaligian.
You gotta do something.
I think when you see the eyes of the person that's standing in front of you and there is absolute realization that their life will be forever changed if you don't come up with something, you have to come up with something better than was yesterday.
Dr. Kaligian plotted out a plan with fellow orthopedic surgeon Dr. Heinz Henneke, who specializes in shoulder injuries.
Thinking outside the box, we actually adapted a sports medicine technique that we use for athletes.
The surgeons teamed up with Dr. Daryl DeLima at Scripps Shiley Center for Orthopedic Research. He created a 3D computer model of Rose's joint structure.
Because it allows you to see where the actual socket is involved.
Well, you can see the size of Rose's tumor here in this animation. It was so big, doctors had to remove her entire shoulder socket. Get this, turns out the curve of an ankle joint makes it a great fit, so the doctors used a donor's ankle. Yes, someone who passed away and graciously elected to be a donor. They reshaped that donor's ankle bone, and boom, it fit Rose's shoulder perfectly. Doctors still had another challenge, though, how to attach the bone. Doctors used a newly invented suture called a tightrope.
It's a couple of buttons with suture between them, allowed us to compress bone where a screw may not hold.
The plan, a first in San Diego to treat this type of bone cancer, worked.
It's very unique, and it opens the door for us to continue to think outside the box to try to solve problems.
A year later, look, problem solved for Rose.
Now I can lift it. I mean, it's not 100%.
Quite a scar to show and quite a story to tell.
You have an ankle in your shoulder.
I know, I do. So,
How many of your friends can say that?
Nobody. And, I've heard the jokes and everyone, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. That no longer applies to me.
Yep, she's got a good head on her. New and old shoulders.
She had the determination to do something more than was in front of her, something more than the word cancer.
You can't help but being moved by the way that she handled it.
Rose is back to cooking and hopefully bowling in the near future.
Still blessed to be able to do this much.
And the best part, Rose continues to give cancer the cold shoulder.
You're cancer-free. That's amazing.
Yeah, cancer-free 1 year so far.
3 doctors, 2 bones, and 1 very special donor who will always be part of Rose's body and life.
That little donation could be life or death for somebody. It could be an entire life. I mean, this completely changed my life.
Donors really are lifesavers, aren't they? Doctors warn if you ever have persistent pain like Rose was feeling, be sure to get it checked out, even if you need a second opinion. If you'd like to become an organ or bone donor, we posted a link on this story on our website, cbs8.com.